Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Hope everyone is well. About to clock out of work, Southern Grammy says. That's a good time. Anywho, so we are about to start a press conference shortly here at probably about 5:15 Eastern. So we have probably about 20 minutes before we get started, but I did want to show you a few things about the Stockton serial killer. He was arraigned today, which they had mentioned on their last press conference that they had. I think it was like 72 hours to arraign the killer. His name is Wesley Brownlee, to be exact. I thought we could go over a few things that would be interesting to watch while we were waiting for that. Give me a couple seconds. If you guys haven't already, if you would do me a good solid and hit the thumbs up button, that tells the world, tells YouTube, tells the algorithm to get out there and come watch this video, because we need to remember these victims. It's so important. This is brought to you by KCRA.
Suspect in the Stockton serial killing is expected to make his first court appearance in less than 2 hours from now. Officers say Wesley Brownlee will go before a judge for his arraignment at 1:30. That's when the district attorney will formally announce the charges against him. Brownlee is being held on multiple charges, including one count for murder for now. The DA says these first charges have to come within 48 hours of taking him into custody. She said as they build their case, more are expected. Stockton police say he killed at least 6 people and hurt another before he was arrested. The crimes he's accused of took place over a period of more than a year. We speak one-on-one with Stockton Police Chief Stanley McFadden. He described all the work that led up to this past weekend's arrest. And in speaking with KCRA 3, Chief McFadden agreed that the response from the community sends a message to criminals. He also highlights how strong a community can be when they work together.
Absolutely. I think Stocktonians are fed up. I think they're tired of the violence narrative. I think they're tired of the gun violence. They're tired of the lives that have been lost on the streets of Stockton. And yeah, they are, they're partnering with us. They're not just pointing fingers, they're heavy lifting as well. They're creating these chat groups to get information out there. They're holding each other accountable. I couldn't be more proud of them, because it shows when a community has zero tolerance, what they can do.
Chief McFadden hopes this can help bring closure to the families of the victims. A candlelight vigil will be held tomorrow night in Stockton to remember the victims. It will be on the north steps of City Hall from 5 to 7:30. Police Chief McFadden, Mayor Kevin Lincoln, and others will be in attendance.
All right, so that they were talking about court and all that. We do have some really interesting information about this guy. Let me pull it up. I'm not good at multitasking. Sorry if you hear any pianos in the back. Kids are playing piano right now, doing their piano lessons. This is brought to you by The Sun, and this is Wesley Brownlee. This is the Stockton serial killer. And of course, this is the chief. He's been charged with 3, which I don't completely understand that at the moment because there is 6 victims. Maybe they need to do a little bit more, gather a little bit more evidence before they charge with the other 3. But as of now, he's only been charged with 3. Wesley Brownlee, he's 43 years old. They arrested him the other night. They had kind of been following him, and he was out hunting another victim, and they caught him in his usual killer attire, along with his gun, his weapon. So he was charged with the 3 counts at 3:30, I guess our time, I don't know, Eastern time, pardon me. He is charged with 3 counts with Jonathan Rodriguez, 21, Juan Carlos Cruz, 52, and Lawrence Lopez, 54. However, the police said he shot a total of 5 victims over a 14-week period from July 8th to September 27th. Now, remember, it was getting closer and closer, these shootings, unfortunately. They were getting much closer. It would be like 1 to 2 a month, and then it was like, every couple weeks, and then it was like every few days. So let's see here. And he was mostly hunting homeless, living in the isolated North Stockton encampments, and killed between dusk and dawn. And all 5 victims were men, but he did shoot a female who survived. I played that interview just maybe 4 or 5 days ago. And if you have not seen that interview with the female that survived, you really need to watch it. And he would dress around in dark clothes, all of that, carrying a handgun, which they found on him whenever they stopped him. And the sheriff says, quote, he was on a mission to kill, end quote. And, quote, he was out hunting. He was stopped by our team around 2 a.m. this morning, end quote. And, that's what everything that's going on with the Quentin little Q right now, it makes you really think, like, why the hell are they not doing more, in my opinion? Thank you so much, Twinkle Star. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. It's like, why aren't they arresting, like these guys, they're in California and they just went in and they did it. It's what you want them to do with, Leilani. Police believe Brownlee may also have been the gunman in two earlier shootings in 2021, one in Oakland that resulted in the death of the 40-year-old Hispanic man, and a one in Stockton that injured a 46-year-old black woman. The woman told police a person in a dark jacket and had a COVID mask pointed a gun at her and began to shoot while he was in her tent. Brownlee has a criminal history, including 2 convictions of drug crimes, among other marks involving traffic violations and a DUI. The suspect was charged with 3 counts of murder, 1 count of felony firearm possession, and 1 count of possession of ammunition, according to the court document obtained by the San Francisco Chronicle. Police recommend that the district attorney, Tori Salazar, charge Brownlee with all 7 shootings, the outlet reported. He definitely should be reported or charged with all 7, in my opinion. It is unclear at this time if additional charges will be placed for the other shootings. Brownlee is in custody at San Joaquin County Jail without bail. There was an article that was very interesting. Let me see here. Here we go. It's like 5 facts you need to know. Let's see here. Now, Stockton serial killer. Here we go. We found it. Not taking calls at the moment, guys. I'm sorry. I know it's running across the bottom there, but there was police Brownlee's. Okay, he was wearing it. This wasn't the article. Okay. I got it here. Sacramento. Give me 2 seconds. I apologize. All right. This is interesting right here.
In just a few hours, an alleged serial killer in Stockton will make his first court appearance. 43-year-old Wesley Brownlee will be arraigned on murder charges at 1:30 this afternoon. Now, we've now learned 3 of the 6 murders that he is accused of happened within a mile.
So this is where all the shootings were. And as you see here, the first one was July 8th. The next one didn't happen till August 11th. So basically a month, right? Then the next one happened August 30th, 3 weeks later. Then we go September 21st. which is what is another maybe 3 weeks, and then just 7 days, 6 days between the two of these two. But then just what he was arrested this past weekend, like 18, 17, 16, like the 14th. So you might as well say the next one would have been like October 14th, which would have been right around 2 weeks. And no, he was not homeless. He was not homeless at all. Not at all. And, it just makes you, this guy, they were actively really looking for him, right? And he was still going to kill, because this becomes a compulsion for them. And it's almost like they can't help it. First parents. Please remember the law enforcement, district attorney, or emergency agents. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading this thing where we're going to stream it from, maybe. Urgent notice: with the first court appearance and the official court documented filed, I ask that you please review the charges and feel free to share. Please remember that the law enforcement. Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Stockton serial killer community news. 12 minutes. 1 second. So we got that thing just a minute ago. Let me just make sure that they don't have the thing going yet before I watch that.
When it comes to your home, everybody knows Bonnie is leading the way.
3 Dave, not taking calls yet. I'm just trying to make sure that they're not.
Involvement in tracking him down sends a message. Countdown to the midterms, the closest races across the country.
Okay, so we'll just go ahead and review these new. This is just out while we're waiting for that press conference. All right. 10/18, fresh off the press, right? Superior Court of the State of California, San Joaquin, Stockton Branch, the people of the state of California, plaintiff versus Wesley Brownlee. All right, count 1. On or about August 30th in San Joaquin Valley, Wesley Brownlee did commit murder in violation of Section 187A of the Penal Code, a felony, who at the time and placed last aforesaid did willingly and unlawfully and intentionally with malice forethought murder Jonathan Rodriguez Hernandez, a human being. It is further alleged that the above offense is a serious felony within the meaning of Penal Code section. Okay. That he personally and intentionally discharged a firearm handgun, which proximately caused great bodily injury and death to Jonathan Rodriguez within the meaning of Penal Code Section 122. Use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. Personally used firearms within the meaning. Okay, let me just. special circumstances, convicted on multiple murders, Penal Code 190.2A3. In the proceedings, he has been convicted of more than one offense of murder in the first or second degree. For further and separate cause of complaint being a different offense from but connected in commission with the charges above, complaint and says count 2. Okay, so they've got it with malice with Juan Carlos Cruz, a human being. So they put it under, they're charging him to the fullest extent. Do they know if the guy is married? I don't think he is married. I don't think he's married. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to watch this press conference to make sure. Hello? Okay, I'm busy right now. I'm live. I can't take calls. Okay. Sorry, I had to just tell 3.Dave. Okay, so there is, oh wow, there's a lot here in the file names. Okay. 3.Dave. He doesn't quit. I'm just going to put on Do Not Disturb. Has he admitted to it all? We have not seen the interrogations yet. So, it's don't really know about that per se. Let me see if that's playing yet. Oh, that's not it. Hey, I see you. Can you tell me if when that comes on, please? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2. Yes, he keeps interrupting me. I'm sorry, guys. Gotta go. Have a good night, Snuggle Bear.
Serial killing set to appear before a judge today, while the city's police chief says the community's involvement in tracking him down.
All right. I see you. Are you sure that they're going to be streaming that from any of this? Let me just make sure. We don't want 3. We want 6 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder. Okay. All right. So, use of a firearm in commission of a felony. It is furthermore alleged that the commission and attempted commission of the offense of Wesley Brownlee personally used firearms within the meaning of the Penal Code 1203.06A1 and 12022.SA and causing the above and become serious felony pursuit of Penal Code. All right. Now, I was just trying to see if it talks about the situation. We know that they're being charged with that. Wesley Brownlee did commit a possession of ammunition in violation of section 30305. 3.Dave, I'm going to block you, I swear. It is further alleged that the defendant is prohibited from owning or possessing a firearm pursuant to the sections 2980 and of the Penal Code section, having been previously convicted of the following offenses. Okay, so he was not allowed to even have a gun because he has had possession of cocaine for sale in violation section of the Health and Safety Code of March 2015. So March 2nd, 2015, he was charged with cocaine, and because he was a felon, he was not allowed to own a gun. So how did he get the gun? Well, I think I know how, actually, because wasn't it Justice for All? They are set to go live. Emailed you the link. Okay, thank you. Press conference. Thank you. For a live streaming broadcast. One second, guys. Okay, I got the email. That wasn't the shit, a brick. Stocktonian News. Okay. All right. Let me know if you can see it live on your end. I see you, because for me, I mean, there's nothing there yet. Just FYI. I'm just going to check a couple others. The Stocktonia News is not, but I do believe KCRA is. KCRA. What time is it in California? 5:20, 4:20, 3:20, 2:20. And it's supposed to start at any moment. Caught on camera.
When it's cold and rainy outside, everyone knows Bonnie is leading the way home. Right now, stay warm and cozy with a $79 furnace tune-up. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Schedule an appointment today at Bonnie.com.
Bear with me.
Now on KCRA3.
The suspect in the Stockton serial killing set to appear before a judge today, while the city's police chief says the community's involvement in tracking him down sends a message.
No, that's not live. Is it playing on your end? I see you, because I mean, on Stocktonia News, it's not. Oh, my eye is twitching. My eye has been twitching for like literally. So we'll be arraigned at 1:30 today. The press conference will be held at 2:15 to 2:30. Please join Stocktonia News for a live streaming broadcast of the press conference. Stockton serial killer. Okay, I'll just keep refreshing, I guess. Let me see what she says. I see you. 2:20. Where is it? It's not showing up for me. Local news. We'll do this. Here we go. Watch on demand.
This is
I hate finding these things, guys. Is it one new? Oh, you know what? I'll do this. Facebook. Shit. Here we go. I don't even see it on the Stockton. I can't grab that link. Can you text it to me? Text it to me. KCRA3, Facebook, KCRA3. Facebook, KCRA3. Okay, here we go. I got it.
Of this defendant. We simply cannot protect our communities without support from our community. And we are grateful to everyone who provided tips that led to this arrest and now the prosecution. We are grateful to all. As the district attorney here, it is my job to ensure the integrity and the ethics and the professionalism of this this case. As so, today we'll be providing you with information. Going forward, we'll update you as to additional charges that may be coming forward. And at that point, we'll be limiting the amount of information that we can release to the public in order to ensure that we're not trying this case in the public forum, but instead in a courtroom where it belongs. So I ask for your patience and understanding in knowing that going forward, we will be limiting the ability to share information. At this point, I'd like to introduce Liliana to come up and read a statement, please.
Buenas tardes. Hoy la fiscal de distrito del condado de San Joaquín, Tori Verber Salazar, anunció los cargos iniciales contra el acusado Wesley Brown.
The Stockton serial killer is an asshole. I shall translate. We're not sharing any information.
Acusado de 3 cargos de asesinato.
He's going to hell in a
Posesión de
handbasket.
un arma de fuego por un delincuente y un cargo de posesión de municiones por un delincuente. Hoy tenemos pruebas suficientes para perseguir 3 cargos de homicidio y confiamos en que se agregarán cargos adicionales a la denuncia a medida que avance la investigación, dijo la fiscal del distrito Tori Verber Salazar. No hay lugar en nuestra sociedad para individuos con un desprecio tan flagrante por la vida humana. Mi administración procesará al acusado con todo el peso de la ley. Nuestras más sinceras condolencias están con las familias de las víctimas durante este momento extremadamente difícil. Según el Departamento de Policía de Stockton, los oficiales estaban vigilando a una persona de interés en relación con la reciente serie de homicidios. Debido al patrón de comportamiento exhibido por el individuo, los oficiales del Departamento de Policía de Stockton tenían una sospecha razonable e iniciaron el contacto. Wesley Brown fue arrestado durante el inventario de su vehículo y persona. Se encontró un arma de fuego de calibre similar al arma utilizado en los homicidios. Debido a la asociación con ATF, el arma de fuego fue procesada y la oficina de la fiscal del distrito del condado de San Joaquín puede confirmar con alta confianza que la fiscal ha hecho un arresto. La oficina del fiscal del distrito del condado de San Joaquín desea reconocer al fiscal de distrito adjunto en jefe Robert Himmelblau y su equipo, al Departamento de Policía de Stockton, a otras agencias policiales locales, estatales y federales, incluidos ATF y California Department of Justice, y a la Oficina de Investigaciones por la colaboración en la investigación y detención de sospechoso. Además, la oficina quisiera agradecer a la comunidad de Stockton por su ayuda en la captura del acusado. Este caso es un excelente ejemplo de cómo la asociación comunitaria y el compromiso con las fuerzas del orden dan como resultado una mayor seguridad pública. Gracias.
Thank you, Liliana. I'd like to ask ATF Agent Joshua Jackson, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Joshua Jackson. I'm an assistant special agent in charge with ATF assigned to the San Francisco Field Division, currently sitting as the acting special agent in charge for our division. ATF and Stockton PD have a long history of working partnerships, and this partnership and working together is no different in this investigation. Specific to this investigation, some of the resources that ATF brought to bear: ATF special agents, ATF task force officers, ATF and intelligence research specialists. These professionals were able to develop crime gun intelligence to pass back to the investigative team. Specifically to crime gun intelligence, something that was extensively used throughout this investigation was ATF's National Integrated Ballistic Information Network, NIBIN. We use NIBIN to help solve some of these shooting events. It allows us to connect shooting events that may appear to be isolated and unrelated. Allows us to connect those, coordinate additional resources so that we can pull our resources together and treat it as an all hands on deck approach and reducing violent crime. And that was experienced very much so in this investigation. Allows us to identify those who are responsible for shooting events. It also allows us to stop shooting events from occurring in the future when we act as a team in a partnership as we did in this investigation. This investigation is not over. We're moving into the criminal adjudication phase at this moment, and it's going to take a lot of work during that as well. ATF is going to remain a partner to Stockton PD and the San Joaquin District Attorney's Office throughout that. And last and most importantly, I definitely want to notice and make note to the family and friends in the community at large who are hurting. We understand you're hurting, you're grieving due to your lost ones you lost, and also to folks that were injured in this series of violent and senseless acts that occurred. We hope that these arrests and these announcements help let you all know that we are not getting off the gas. We are moving into this next phase, the criminal adjudication phase, so we'll be successful and make sure justice is done. And those who are responsible for this, the person responsible for this, is held accountable. Thank you.
Thank you. Also today, often we think about the defendant and what the charges are and what's going forward with that. But today in our office, in my office, it's equally important that we're taking care of these families. So they are working with our victim witness. Thank you, Liliana and Gabby, our Family Justice Center. And now we have our support group down working with them as well, because we want to make sure that they understand that we're here to support them through this journey, and that we will be by them, right by their side throughout it. So today is also about telling you about what's going to go happen procedurally from the criminal justice arm, but we're also going to let you know that we are taking very good care of these families with every tool and resource we have. Here in San Joaquin County, in particular here in Stockton, this individual thought he could come to our community and do harm. It's not in our house. You do not get to come into our house and do this kind of crime and this kind of harm and not think that SPD is not going to bring the rain down on you and find you and hold you fully accountable. And they did that, just that, in partnership with this community. But as we move forward, we need further partnership. And that's from our community-based organizations to help this entire community heal. As Joshua was saying, the victims, the survivors, the families, unimaginable what they're going through. But also as a community, we have suffered under the reign of this terror. So today, we're going to move forward, and we're going to use every tool and resource, every investigative opportunity we have, every best evidence practice, and also every tool we can in healing these families in this community. With that, I'll take a couple questions.
This man is still a mystery. Can you tell us anything about who he is and why he did it?
All I can tell you is that we know that he was a truck driver and recently moved to Stockton this past summer.
Favorite trucks?
I believe so. He's interstate traffic trucker. Excuse
Any
me.
relationships, a family, a wife? partner?
He does have some family in the community, not very many.
Are you able to tell us about the 3 other homicides, 2 in Stockton and 1 in Oakland? What is it at this point that's holding up charging him in those? I thought that the ballistics connected all 7 of the incidents, the 1 survivor and the 6 murders.
We're waiting for additional evidence to be processed through that will most likely, we believe, will allow us the opportunity to add those additional charges. But when we go to court, we are ethically bound to only charge based upon the evidence that we have in front of us and that we can prove beyond a reasonable doubt. For background purposes, a defense attorney could go time not waived today and we would have to prelim this case in 10 days. So when I charged today, or our team charged the case last night and this morning, we have to do based on what we have right here in front of us at this moment. We're only 4 days into this. So you have to understand that there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of reports, maybe even thousands of reports in this case, before we have a full visual of what we're dealing with. So charges will be amended as time goes on. It's just going to take a little bit more time.
Are all 7 incidents still connected by ballistics? Is that still true?
Yes.
So with the 3 others that have not been charged and the 1 attempted homicide, do you think this gun was used? I mean, it was still connected by ballistics. I'm just wondering like what the holdup is specifically with evidence that the 3 cases had, that these 4 other ones didn't, if it was all connected to ballistics.
There's additional evidence that we've been able to ascertain through the great work of these detectives here in Stockton Police Department. And that evidence allowed us to move forward on 3 cases today. We believe it'll allow us to move forward on the remaining counts. We're just waiting for that information to be fully processed.
And for that 7th incident, for the woman who did survive this, I didn't hear talk about that in the courtroom, and I haven't heard yet about that 1 attempted case. How will that be involved with all of this? So far, we have the 3 homicides that are charged and the 3 that we're waiting to charge on. What about the survivor case?
And she's also, the attempted murder is also pending additional information and evidence.
Be given out in this case?
That's a determination that wasn't covered by my office, but that is being looked at right now as we speak for the individuals that did assist us with Claire and gave us a tremendous amount of assistance.
Is there a home address for him? Do you know where he lived at this time? Well, in the city, did he live in Stockton? Do you have a physical address?
He lived in Stockton, yes.
Is this a death penalty case or will it be?
It's a special circumstance case. So when he was charged with 3 counts of murders, he also has the enhancement for being a felon in possession of ammunition, but also the use of a weapon, 12022.53 in the commission. Those are all either enhancements, but the one that allows it to be a consideration for a life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty is the special circumstance. And that special circumstance is under the Penal Code Section 190.2, and it reflects multiple murders.
Were any of these considered hate crimes because some of the victims were of the same race?
We're looking into that. That's still part of the ongoing investigation, and that there is a potential there could be additional charges in that arena as well. So we're developing that evidence.
How do you reassure the public that is still fearful out there that perhaps there's someone else out there, another serial killer? There was a homicide this morning that San Joaquin County Sheriffs were at. And people were posting on social media, he's still out there. The serial killer is still going at, what do you say to those folks?
We reached out to the sheriff's office this morning. There is no connection or correlation between any of the incident or the evidence that occurred in the early morning unfortunate taking of another, community member's life. We believe beyond a reasonable doubt that we have the right suspect in custody. We wouldn't charge the case if we didn't have sufficient evidence to believe that is true and correct. So we believe we have the person responsible. At this point, we're going to proceed on the 3 that we have, and I'm very, very positive that in the near future, you'll be hearing of additional charges as well.
And in court today, it was revealed that there was cellular data connecting the suspect to at least these 3 murders. Is he connected with cellular data to all of these cases?
It's an ongoing investigation, Kurt. We're developing every lead we can. These officers have been working nonstop for the last 90 days, and we've been working every angle that we possibly can. So we will go over this case with a fine-tuned, comb, and we will make sure that no stone is unturned, and that we will follow any leads that it takes us. But at this point, I have no doubt that we have the suspect in custody.
Was this a ghost gun?
We're not going to comment on that right now.
Well, it was announced in court today.
Okay, all right.
That was a ghost gun. Was the ghost gun used in all of the cases here?
I'm just going to say it was a weapon that was used. It's a polymer. We'll make that final determination. But yes, if the information has been released to you, then we'll discuss it.
Did he know any of the victims personally?
We're not going to go into that kind of detail today. This is an ongoing investigation and we're continuing to develop it. And
You said he's not from Stockton. Where is he? What's his connection to Stockton?
we believe his primary area of region was in Oakland area, in the Bay Area, but he was recently just relocated to here.
Do you know anything about his past criminal history with ties to Alameda County and Oakland, and if any mental health issues play a part in all of that?
I'm sorry, I'm just kidding.
We're not going to comment on mental health. We've had a suspect in custody for 4 days, so there's no way we can make any determination in regards to that. He has a prior criminal history, which was mentioned in the charging document. He is a felon, and he's a felon in possession. Those were drug-related offenses, and they originate out of Oakland, Alameda County.
Over communicating, can you say if the photo of the handgun that was released by police and your team, is that the ghost gun that had connected to the 3 charged homicides? Is this all the same gun we're looking at and talking about? I just want to over communicate that so we're all on the same page.
Go ahead, repeat your question, please.
So the photo that was released of that handgun earlier on in the investigation, is that the same handgun that was found on his person when he was arrested? Is that the same handgun that is a ghost gun that's connected to the 3 homicides that are being charged? Is this all the same firearm?
That's what I can tell you right now is a photograph of the gun in the picture was what was on him when he was arrested. And we're still doing additional ballistic evidence as far as its interconnectivity of the cases.
But that is the murder weapon?
That's still part of the investigation that we're continuing.
Chief, do you believe that there are more cases than just the 7 out there right now?
Well, we're going to stay tenacious. We don't know how many cases there are. That's why we still have our tip lines. That's why we're still partnering with our neighboring agencies. That's why we still have this incredible all-star team of a task force, just so we can overturn every stone and see what we have out there.
Between the ballistics testing connected to the 3 cases and the gun the defendant had when he was arrested, do we have an estimate of how many weapons this defendant was using, or at least how many weapons?
That's part of the ongoing investigation.
Is there any reason to believe that there are any other suspects out there? You guys say you guys want the community to keep giving tips. Is there anyone out there that people should be afraid of?
We have absolutely no reason to believe that there's anyone out there that you should fear in regards to these cases, but we do want the tips out because we know there's people that know information about incidents that happen, and we need those people to come forward.
Chief, yesterday you were able to.
We're gonna stop here. Thank you guys so much for your questions. Go ahead, you guys, right out this door. Thank you. I have my card on me. Our press statement and the complaint can be found on our website. We appreciate your guys' questions and your thorough coverage of this case. It is ongoing, like District Attorney Slater Salazar mentioned. So again, thank you guys so much for coverage. And
Thank you, Camille. I appreciate that. Thank you, Nicole, for renewing your membership. I appreciate that as well. Yeah, so there we have it. I really hope that they charge them with, more, even if, like, they charge one person, but he killed 6 people, and he gets a life sentence, right? You still want them all to be charged. It's about justice for that person. They may still only get life, but you feel like you still kind of don't get justice if they don't charge them with each one of those counts. So here are some interesting facts about Wesley Brownlee. He was born in 1979 in Mississippi. So he's a Southern boy. 1979, Mississippi. He's a long way from home, I guess you could say. So 1979, Mississippi. He is one of 6 children, 3 biological siblings, and 1 deceased. So it seems like he grew up in a big family. His family, he does have a little bit of family in the area in Stockton, but not much. Okay. His brother Dale Brownlee had a juvenile criminal record and was shot in October 1995 at the age of 17. So, as some of you guys were talking earlier, they said you could enter his last name or something. That was his brother. That was his brother. Hey, dear. So, brother Dale Brownlee, he had a juvenile criminal record, and he was shot in October 1995 at the age of 17. And they say he was very distressed over his death and seemed continuously depressed after his death. So, at such a young age, is a serial killer, is it nature, is it nurture, or is it both? I think it, can serial killers be made? Meaning, could anyone be a serial killer? Probably not. I think it has to do with nature and nurture. You have to have both. Let's see here. Oh my God, 3.8. $510.
Justin, finally. Sorry for bugging you, man, but I went on Dolly right after his Dolly Island thing. He had like a StreamYard up there. So I've been on there like in a month, and I, because he was online, I was like, dude, I wanted to bring up your content that you've been putting out. Are you still with me?
Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, check out this killer guy. We got to catch him. But when you feel like you have have an intuition on shit and you're putting stuff out that no one else is putting out, I put out there that I thought he might be black, and I got a lot of pushback, from chat and even the StreamYard people yeah, that's racist, And I was like, the way he walks, even though he has that knock knee and there could be a knee or hip injury, I was like, dude, it looks like his pants are sagging, and they're like, dude, that's racist. And I'm like, no, I think he's black, right?
Right.
And I was also saying I think he was he has family in Oakland where the first killing was, and that somehow he moved to Stockton. He went where someplace where he was comfortable, maybe that he had a father in Oakland and a mother in Stockton, and that he went to someplace comfortable, and then he went and tried to shift the point of view and the eyes off of Oakland where the first killing was close, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing is that where you said that where he's born, I found a news report because after I was like, dude, hell shit I said came true. I was like, what I found was that he was born in San Francisco, that he grew up in Oakland, and that he went to high school in Oakland, and that the first murder, where that first murder happened in Oakland, was on the same block that his brother got killed.
Yes.
And that he was within blocks of where his family home was.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of you said that he was born somewhere else, right?
What's that?
You just said that you thought he was born somewhere else, not San Francisco.
Yeah, he was raised in. He was born in Mississippi.
Yeah, I think you could be wrong. I mean, I maybe, but also like when they like figured out like residences that he's associated with in Stockton, all resided around killings that were like a block away from those residences.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna let your chat know, and if you want to look at it, it's called Alleged Stockton Serial Killer, had prior convictions in Alameda, right? It's got 6,000, almost 7,000 views, and it was on October 17th. And the who posted it up was KTVU.
What's it called?
2. I'm sorry?
What's it called again?
Yeah, it's just like the news report that you put on at the very beginning. It's almost exactly like that. It's 3 minutes long. It's called Alleged Stockton Serial Killer had prior convictions in Alameda County. So, I mean, you watch this really gives you super information about his history and who he is.
Okay.
And also, like, his mother, like, when he got convicted for, like, crack and stuff like that, was saying, like, he's mentally slow.
Was that on Facebook?
And
Was that on Facebook or where?
No, this is YouTube.
Okay.
Alleged Stockton serial killer had prior convictions in Alameda County. So yeah, I did a super search because I was like, dude, I'm hella right.
Oh yeah.
I called you up after I did that Dolly one. I called you up and I interrupted. You were doing like a different thing, and you were like, dude, we're not doing that right now. I was like, give me 30 more seconds, and you were like, no, it cut me off. All right, man.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, well, I got something better. All right. Alleged Stockton serial killer had prior convictions in Alameda County. Listen to this.
When we ride together, we can make the baby.
Jaja, God, my dog just scared me.
Taking transit. Spare the air and choose transit.
Spare the air.
The accused serial killer connected to the Stockton and Bay Area communities, 43-year-old Wesley Brownlee, has been arrested a week after police released surveillance video of a possible suspect. Our investigative reporter Brooks Jarose has been digging into the suspect's background and criminal history, and Brooks joins us now live from the newsroom with the details. Brooks.
Well, Julie, I've learned this accused serial killer lost his brother to gun violence in Oakland, and records show Wesley Brownlee has faced several drug-related charges. He was even arrested for sexual assault as a teenager, and court documents give us a glimpse into Brownlee's family life and his mental state.
Wesley Brownlee was caught with a mask and gun Saturday. Stockton police say he was searching for an 8th victim.
He was on a mission to kill. He was out hunting.
The alleged serial killer is accused of taking 6 lives. 5 men shot dead in Stockton, 1 in Oakland, and linked to another Stockton shooting where a woman survived.
The suspect's reign of terror in our community has come to an end.
Court records shed light on Brownlee's life, one of his mother's 6 children. He was born in San Francisco, but grew up in Oakland on Seminary Avenue, just blocks from where victim Miguel Vazquez Serrano was gunned down last year, leaving the family distraught.
Whoever did it doesn't know how painful this is and how painful this is for my mom.
Brownlee's criminal history dates back decades. In 1994, at age 14, he was accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl along with 2 other boys. Later that year, records show he sold cocaine to an undercover officer. Then in 1995, his brother, 1994, history dates back decades.
All right, so I want to hear that. He S.A.'d?
1994, at age 14, he was accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl along with 2 other boys.
So that's a very common behavior. Very common behavior. Like yeah, he is one shining star. 3. Dave's a good guy. But this guy, Wesley Brownlee, he was accused of S.A.ing a 14-year-old girl with 2 other boys. Like it is a learned behavior. Yes, learned behavior. Or it can be, sexually gratifying for them to be in control.
Later that year, records show he sold cocaine to an undercover officer. Then in 1995, his brother Dale Brownlee.
Okay, this is the Dale Brownlee. This is his brother, who was about a year older than Wesley. Had a juvenile criminal history. He was shot, and depressed, and was very distressed over his death, which is what I was saying earlier.
Was shot and killed. A probation report says Wesley became depressed and distressed. His mother said she wanted him in therapy and also said he's mentally.
Another thing that his mother said is that he was mentally slow. His mother learned that he was mentally slow. He was determined to be learning disabled.
Slow and learning disabled. Brownlee never graduated high school and was suspended once for gambling. In 1997, he was arrested and charged.
Okay, this is him in 1997 with his looks a lot different from now, right?
For having a large amount of crack cocaine. He was 18 and sentenced to 2 years in prison. Once he was out, Brownlee was living with his mother in Stockton. But in 2014, he was accused again in Alameda County of selling crack cocaine, this time on East 16th Street and right near where his brother was killed nearly 2 decades earlier. He pleaded no contest, served some jail time and 3 years probation. It would be a few years later when the killings began. Investigators say all of the victims are linked through ballistics, and based on tips and surveillance video, police say Brownlee is responsible, claiming he was armed and ready to do it again.
We are sure we stopped another killing.
Brownlee is in San Joaquin County Jail. He has not yet been charged. He is expected to be in court to face murder charges tomorrow. In the newsroom, Brooks DeRose, KTVU Fox 2 News.
Yeah, a lot of people breathing a lot easier knowing that a suspect is.
So, he got busted selling crack, in several different times in his life, and many people who have mental problems or addiction, they try to self-medicate. But what was interesting to me was where he got caught last time with the crack cocaine. It was right where his brother died. And you know how serial killers like to go back to the scenes to relive them or something. It makes you wonder if it scarred him in such a way as a young boy that his brother died, that he had to go back and relive it, to feel closer to his brother, or to remember it or anything like that. So the 448 gap between the two killings could be because he was in jail. Yes, that was one of the theories in the beginning before we knew who he was. They were like, there had to be, he had to be in jail, or moved or died, or something. So just something interesting. Let's see. Pop this down. So he was sentenced of controlled substance in January of 1999. He was released on parole in August of 1999. It seems like he likes speed, and his mom said out of the kids that he was just he just didn't get it. He was just slow, and that was her words, not mine. So discharged from parole in May 2006. He looks a lot different there versus how he looks now, but it's been some time. Let's see here. I still want to know, guys, I still want to know if he had any relation to the killer in Chicago. It makes me, is it the same person or not? He, from what I understand, that he loves sports. He was a big fan of sports. He wanted to be Dave.
He loves sport.
Yes,
Hey, Justin.
Yes.
Hey, I don't know if I would put it as that he had like a morbid attraction to that location, as it was just his comfortability factor with the location, being that he grew up right there.
It could be.
You know what I'm saying?
It could be that as well. But it could be.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty much it for me, in my opinion. And did you play the whole video? Because I thought there was a point that they did the locations in Stockton and pointed out the residences that he was linked to, and that how close the murders were. I know that that his actual apartment number, that 3 of the killings were within a few blocks, literally three around his apartment building were within a few blocks, total 3. So I don't know if I saw a different video. I'm just linking the 2 videos together, but there is a video out there that shows all the locations of the killings and all the associations that he has in the area that were literally, when it wasn't right there next to his apartment, it was next to the apartment or the house of the person he's associated with.
Okay.
Just to let you know that information is out there somewhere.
Okay.
If you look at my history, I'll dig it up. And if you continue talking about this, I'll pop in and give you that link.
Cool.
All right, Justin.
Thank
See
you,
bro.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, no, I think that's the same.
I Love Lasher, starring Vince Bloom and Craig and Artie, the Canine Companions puppies.
These guys are a little young to dress up for Halloween.
Skip. Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Suspect in the Stockton serial killings expected.
No, that's not it. I was just looking at maybe this is it. Let me see if this is it.
Being extraordinary requires a whole lot of ordinary. We believe the run can
Really? They want a commercial 20 or 30 seconds long. Yes, he did live close to the killings. Yes, he did. He lived very close with the. I mean, it makes you think that he definitely, you felt like he lived in the area even before we knew who he was. Most people thought he wait, were the Chicago killings dated where that for? That's a good question. Oh, crap. Hold on.
neck.
On Saturday at 2 o'clock in the morning near a park in Stockton.
As officers made contact with him, he was wearing dark clothing and had a mask around his neck. He was also armed with a firearm when he was taken into custody. We are sure we stopped another killing.
The district attorney there believes the weapon in the first 2 shootings in April 2021 was then used again.
We then have a dormant period with the weapon, and then it becomes back in use this summer and is involved in the 5 homicides.
The first person killed was 40-year-old Juan Vasquez Serrano, shot in his car in East Oakland in April 2021. His sister told ABC7 News the family is relieved.
Por fin ya se hizo justicia con mi hermano.
Marichui Vasquez Serrano says justice has been served. Her brother is resting in peace, and so is the family. The second person shot and the only one to survive is Natasha Latour.
And they already had the gun out, and they just started shooting.
It was her description of the shooter that helped police link the man in this surveillance video to the shootings that followed, all of them in Stockton. But by now, 5 more men had already been killed, even though police knew they were probably looking for an African-American serial killer. The assumption is that most serial killers are white men.
A sort of negligence that endangers all of us.
Professor Alan Branson wrote the book, The Anonymity of African-American Serial Killers.
You can't make any assumption about any group. Oh, this group only does this, or this group only does that. That's the danger.
We believe being extraordinary requires.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm going to look closer in it today with the killer in they called him the Duck Walk Killer in Chicago area. Yes, it always gives me goosebumps too, stars. It definitely does. But you know, it was 400 and some days that the gun was out of commission. Guys, I do have to jump off of here, though. I will be back at probably 8 or 8:30 today with talking about little Quentin. Hopefully, we'll get some more news about that. There's probably going to be protesting there tonight, so it may get a little crazy. And if I don't do that, then I will be on my second channel, Clutch Them Pearls, and we'll have some fun over there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. There's a lot of people streaming right now. So thank you, guys. I appreciate you all. Thank you for the donations, and thank you for the gifts, Camille. I appreciate you and appreciate all your memberships, Nookie, as well. Love you all. We'll talk to you soon. Good night.